Section 11.5, Translating Verbal Expressions into Mathematical Expressions. Number 1, translate the quotient of n and the sum of n and 6 into a mathematical expression. Start with the word quotient. The word quotient means division. You can write it as a horizontal division with a division symbol, or you can write it as a fraction as you see here. So we are going to have the quotient of n, which will be our numerator, and the sum of n and 6. The sum of n and 6 itself will be the denominator of the fraction, or of the quotient. Sum means to add, so the quantity n plus 6 is our denominator. Number 2, translate the expression the sum of 5 and the product of 4 and n. So it's really an addition problem because it's the sum of 5 and 4n. The product means to multiply 4 times n, which can be expressed as 4n. So our final answer is 5 plus 4n. Number 3, the difference between 8 and twice t. This problem is essentially a subtraction problem. We're subtracting 8 minus 2t. The phrase twice t means 2 times whatever it's being multiplied by. Number 4, translate the product of 3 and the difference between z and 4. So we have two parts. We have 3, and then we have a product, so times, and then we have a quantity, the difference between z and 4. Notice that I put the quantity z minus 4 in parentheses. That's because we are multiplying that entire quantity by 3. So it's 3 times the quantity z minus 4. Again, the word product means to multiply, and the word difference means to subtract. Number 5, translate the quotient of 5 and the product of 7 and x. So this is essentially a division problem where the numerator is 5 and the denominator is the product of 7 and x. So we have 5 over 7 times x, or 5 over 7x. Number 6, translate the total of a number and the square of the number. You can pick any letter of the alphabet that you'd like to represent your unknown value or your number. The word total means to add. Think about it this way. Anytime you're trying to find a total or you're totaling numbers together, you're going to add them to get a final answer. So in this case, it's the total of a number, we'll call it n, and the square of the same number. So it's n plus n squared. Finally, number 7, translate the product of a number and 1/2 of the number. I chose n again. You can choose whatever letter you want from the alphabet. So this is essentially a product, meaning multiplication. So it's n times 1/2 n. The word of, so 1/2 of the number, also means to multiply. So essentially what you're doing with that 1/2 n is multiplying. So it's really n times 1/2 times n. So n times 1/2 n. If you'd like, you could also write it with parentheses, which also denotes multiplication. N times 1/2 n. In general, you want to be comfortable when reading expressions knowing what they mean. So starting with addition, some expressions you may see are more than, or the sum of, or the total of, or increased by. There are others as well. In terms of subtraction, you may see less than, or the difference between, or decreased by. In terms of multiplication, you may see times, or the product of, or the word of, which I just mentioned, or twice, amongst other examples. And then finally, division, divided by, or the quotient of, or the ratio of. Remember, the word ratio also can denote a fraction.